you ready? I'm Deepa Senapathi. I'm an ecologist and conservation biologist and an associate professor at the University of Reading. As a scientist, impact to me is taking the evidence from the research that we do and making an actual tangible change on the ground. We find ourselves in a time of not just one challenge, but multiple challenges. We are in a state of climate emergency. We are in an age of Anthropocene where there's a biodiversity crisis, but at the same time, we need to find a way to sustainably feed 8 billion plus people on this planet. So when these triumvirate of challenges, we need to be able to manage our land sustainably in a manner that boosts biodiversity, is climate resilient, but can offer food security. And this is where the option of ecological interventions that are designed in context-specific manner comes into play. So as researchers working in the field of agroecology, we bring the knowledge of ecological interventions that might help with sustainable land management and boost biodiversity. But the smallholder farmers are the experts of what actually works on their land. And so this project had this element of co-design, bringing together scientific researchers with the on-ground practitioners to design context-specific solutions for 4 different focal crops. That meant that for each crop and in each context, floral interventions that were put in place gave a range of multiple benefits. 1, it boosted biodiversity. 2, it boosted livelihoods. And this way we ensured that we are tackling the decline in biodiversity whilst also ensuring food security and farmer livelihoods. This has taken on a life of its own, where the farmers have spread the news of the benefits they've reaped. Their friends and family are putting in interventions, testing different floral interventions in different crops. And if we can do this in 2 states, and with word spreading, other farmers taking this up, we can roll this out nationally, internationally, provided we have buy-in from the smallholder farmers. This has the opportunity to take a life of its own and influence policy and practice. So watch this space. So the impact team have been incredibly helpful throughout this process. So right from sort of sourcing funding for knowledge exchange activities to having discussions that have helped firm up the narrative storylines coming out of the project, to filming the farmer diaries, and actually sort of creating or detailing the pathways from what we've done to what impact it can achieve in policy and practice. All of the support from the impact team has been invaluable. So I would highly recommend that all colleagues working in research and science actually engage with stakeholders outside of academia, whether it's policymakers or practitioners. I think if the research we do needs to actually have real-world impact, it cannot be done without sort of co-designing or co-development of solutions with stakeholders. It may mean that we have to learn to speak a slightly different language from the scientific languages that we speak. Policy and practitioners do not speak the same language, but that little bit of extra effort to engage is so worth it because you can actually see the difference you can make in people's lives.